This week's episode is brought to you by Capital Financial Advisory Group for all your retirement needs.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. You'll hear from some of the nation's top financial professionals. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world, right here on the Financial Safari.
Welcome into the Financial Safari. Consumer advocate Thomas Lipscomb here with you alongside best-selling author, America's Wealth, financial and income coach, Coach Pete D'Arruda. And Coach, you have a special guest in studio with us today as well.
Mr. Keith Hersey here. We went to high school and college together back in the 80s.
Yeah.
They had the 70s show. This is the 80s show now. Time flies, doesn't it, Keith?
Oh, yeah. I can't believe it's been all these years. I mean,
yeah. We were at Carolina. We'd see each other at Carolina. I was doing my financial courses and everything, and Keith was over at pharmacy school.
Pharmacy, okay.
Yeah. And after college, you were a pharmacist, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I did that for over 20 some years, and then got out of that. So now I'm working, my concentration now is working with health and wellness. I specialize in diabetes, but I work with all different chronic diseases because they're kind of all linked together.
The reason we're having you on today, not only because I like you, but because is a big segment of the population that needs to study health and wealth. They work together.
Yep.
If your health is bad, it'll hurt your wealth because you have to spend so much money on all these things you need because you're not healthy.
Absolutely.
So the secret is, while you're getting close to retirement, approaching retirement on your terms, you get healthy as well because you don't want the health budget eating up all your vacation budget.
Yeah.
And so this Zempic, right? GLPs and all that. That's for for diabetes, and diabetes is a big thing. My dad had type 2 diabetes. My brother Bob does too. But type 2 is when you bring it on because of your diet, basically. And my grandmother, though, I'm kind of in a bad place, Keith, as far as genetics. My grandmother on my mom's side had type 1, and I remember her giving shots to herself in the morning and the evening.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her. You know, the needles were probably a lot thicker back then, back in the 70s and 80s. And so if they would have had the drugs they have these days, she might have been able to have a better life. And I think as we go forward, there's going to be some advances in medication, as we are seeing now with when I just use that one because that's what I see all the commercials. It's power commercials, but the GLP-1s, and I guess I don't even know what that stands for, but can you educate us a little bit on how important that is for people to maybe pursue that avenue not to lose weight. Like a lot of people are overusing it. People just to lose 10 pounds, they do that. I don't think that's good for you, but I think if the choice is to have a bad diabetes, because diabetes killed my dad. My dad's passed away now, and the diabetes killed him basically. He couldn't do dialysis and take his diabetes medication, so he had to choose. And so the diabetes ended up getting him. But if it came down to, yes, there's some side effects with these GLP-1s, but it's better than the side effect of dying. Yeah. If you don't do it. What do you think about that?
Oh, definitely. The GLP-1s are kind of like the rage now. Yeah. Because what it does, it mimics a hormone that's naturally occurs in your body that kind of suppresses like your appetite. Yeah. And so it mimics that, so that what causes people to usually eat less. Yep. And then, the side effect was losing weight and getting control over their blood sugar level. So actually what it was, it started off being like for diabetes, and then people were seeing that's kind of a side effect that people were losing weight.
Yeah, so it's a good side effect.
I was going to say.
So then it shifted from being just for type 2 diabetes to being like an anti-obesity drug.
Yeah.
And also it helps now, it's been approved for like sleep apnea, which is tied in usually.
Sleep apnea when you stop breathing during sleep? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, go like that kind of thing, right? So
and a lot of times, and a lot of times that's tied into being overweight or obese, that you have that fat buildup in your body, and especially in your throat area, and then that causes you to have problems like where you lose like.
When you say appetite suppressant, that's like back in the day in the 70s and 80s, there was something called Dexatrim. It was a diet pill, and they don't offer it anymore, so something must have been wrong with it. Sort of like that chemical we put on the straw. It has a different smell to it. We could blow up these big balls. Remember these big balls you blew up with? Remember that smell of the, I don't know what it was, but it was some kind of chemical that causes cancer now. Because Jackie in our studio looked up whatever that was. Acetane, I think it was, which is not a good thing for you. So you were getting high when the kids were all getting high back in the day, blowing these big bubbles up.
No.
But they were fun to play with.
Oh, yeah.
And you wanted to play with them more. You probably got addicted to it, didn't even know it.
Oh, yeah.
So what can the average person watching now, maybe they're 30 pounds overweight, they've tried everything. Are they a good person to try these GLP-1 things?
I think that, of course, you will have to consult your provider, but that is, a good alternative. If you're considered like obese or morbidly obese, and you have all the health conditions to that, you can use that to kind of spur on like what you need, like the weight loss and the control of like your blood glucose level. That's like fairly important because getting back to like type 2 diabetes, everything's kind of tied in together because your blood sugar affects like your organs. So it affects like your organs, and then the crucial thing is that the leading cause of blindness is like type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
The leading cause of amputation, especially like in the feet, is type 2 diabetes.
Is that because circulation's not good? Is that what? Okay.
Yep. So what happens is that the blood sugar rises to such a level that your blood doesn't circulate properly into your organs. So that's why you get like blindness, because you're not getting
the blood flow in your eyes.
You're not getting the blood flow in your eyes. You're not getting the blood flow to your kidneys, so your kidneys fail. You're not getting the proper blood flow to your feet, so you end up having your feet amputated.
So I'm not a health expert, so I hear insulin. Like you take insulin. Does that reduce the sugar in the blood? Is that what it's for?
Yeah, so that's naturally you have that as
your body should develop on itself.
Your body should develop on itself, and that usually what the thing is that usually when you eat and you need that energy resource, because back in the old days, before modern technology, we needed that energy. You needed it to work in the field.
Oh, yeah.
You needed it
That's
to
when daylight savings time was invented, too, to keep the people in the fields long.
You needed it to escape from animals.
To run with the spear through the jungle.
You need that quick burst of energy. But if you weren't using the energy, it turns into bad stuff.
So now, since we have, our modern technology and our sedentary lifestyle, we don't, now that
too
sugar,
much eating for too much sitting around.
And so that sugar stays into your blood and raises like your blood sugar level, and your insulin can't handle it a lot of times. And what happens is that the insulin that's produced from your pancreas, it burns out. Your pancreas eventually burns out, and then that's when people have to supplement the insulin that their body can't produce.
Can the pancreas recover after it gives out, or is it fixable, or once it's gone, is it gone?
It is fixable. If you can get like, and people have done a lot of experimentation with working with restoring the pancreas. And then a lot of times, if you can get your blood sugar levels under control over a long period of time, that it will kind of self-heal itself.
Now you do we're going to talk in the next segment, you do some coaching with folks and get them on to help them with that recovery, because until you draw a line in the sand, you're going to keep doing what you usually do. And insanity is the definition of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, sort of like we see in the financial world. And so I wrote a book because so many people, like you out there, maybe yourself, have been trying to plan a retirement and aren't sure where the income's going to come from. You need a monthly paycheck for the rest of your life. I write about how you can do it with the money you've already put aside. If you have a 401k, this offers for you, because this will show you how to turn your 401k into your own private paycheck pension plan, give you paychecks for the rest of your life. Call now. I'm going to send these books out to the next 25 of you who call right now. Numbers on the screen. Be right back after this.
Go to yourmoneydesk.com. We have a treasure trove of resources on the site where you can explore concepts like this and just get to know your own retirement a little bit better as you head into it.
One other site is retirementhelpcenter.com.
Yes,
we'll put them on the screen here, retirementhelpcenter.com. Videos, we try to keep them 4 minutes or less.
We do.
Because attention spans these days are about 4 minutes or less. And so, but they explain about anything you could ever thought of. We've done them on like everything from crypto to safe money to risk money to retirement income.
Both of these sites now have multiple calculators on them, so be sure to head over to yourmoneydesk.com.
retirementhelpcenter.com.
Do you hear that? That's me enjoying my retirement. Traveling around the world to play golf, where I want, when I want, with whomever I want. Because years ago, I rolled over my IRA with the help of a local trusted advisor.
Welcome back into the Financial Safari. Consumer advocate Thomas Lipscomb here with you once again alongside best-selling author Coach Pete D'Arruda. We also have special guest in studio with us, Keith Hersey, talking about health and wellness.
Yeah.
And Coach, I'm very excited because we're actually going to premiere something on the show today, a series of books that you've come out with.
Yep.
The first one, very interesting title.
Well, the first one, Retirement Autopilot. I just talked about this at the end of the segment there, and it's just a way for you to design a retirement that runs an autopilot. You don't have to worry. You don't have to manage it. It's going to constantly send you a monthly paycheck for the rest of your life. You pass away, your spouse continues to get that paycheck. It is a life in autopilot, and it's a friendly autopilot. It's money coming in. It's your own paychecks. You got these 401k statements, and the 401k, 403b, TSP, all these different statements of money you put aside shows you a lump sum, but it never shows you what it could be in a lifetime income. And you really need to see that, because that can take all the worry out of living in retirement, being able to have enough money come in each month to do all the things that you said you wanted to do.
There you go.
And do them. These are your go-go years when you're approaching retirement, and you can still do things. Don't put off having fun to later on, because later on might come and it might not be fun anymore. And so I've also written 2 books side by side, one for state employees, one for federal employees. So if you're a state employee, this one's called the Unofficial State of North Carolina Employee Manifesto. I don't work for the state of North Carolina. My mom and dad did. They were teachers. My wife does. She works at the Attorney General's office. But I've looked at the benefits, and I've translated the complex big books they give you to explain your benefits. They say explain it more, it confuses you. And I unconfuse you with what's really going on in your state pension plan, your state benefits. And so if you are a state employee, all you have to do, we're not only giving these books away this week, you can get it on Amazon, $17.76. They'll send it to you. Or if you call now, I will send it to you at my cost. I'll buy the book and we'll pay for the postage to get this in your hands. So state of North Carolina employees, this book is for you. So if you are a state employee right now, you see the number you see on the screen, just text that number or call that number and we can get you this book sent out in the next week. We'll verify your address, send it to you at our cost. There'll be no games, no strings attached, no gimmicks. I just want to make sure that you've put your time in for the state, make sure you get your time paid back to you in the right way. And federal employees, this is Thrift and Thrive. This is your guidebook to show you what's going on in that thrift savings plan. A lot of different options here. Hopefully you've made some money. Hopefully you don't have all your money in too safe of a place. But once you get up to that financial red zone, age 52 and above, it's time to make some tweaks and adjustments to make sure you can convert this money to a private pension plan, giving you monthly paychecks for the rest of your life. That's what it comes down to. You worked hard, put all this money away, make sure this money comes back to you and never goes away. So if you want a copy of this book, you see the number on the screen, call that and text that number, and we'll make sure to send for the next 25 people, will send you a copy at our expense. Again, this is $17.76 as well. So 3 book sets. If you, by the way, if you are a state employee or federal employee, you also want a copy of the Retirement Autopilot book, see the number on your screen there. So we'll be more than happy to send them to you. My daughter, Carrie, is our summer intern, and she is in charge of the mailroom this summer. And let's make Carrie work, folks. Let's make Carrie work. Now, back to health. What do you think? You do a lot of coaching now. You were a pharmacist and you got tired of counting pills all day long, probably, didn't you? Because that's all my pharmaceutical friends say. They get tired of that, and then they can either go count pills or turn into a pharmaceutical sales rep, and that's a pain in the butt going to the doctor's office and sitting all day waiting for the doctor to maybe see you. Plus, you're not as attractive as some of the girls I've seen in the office there, so you can put on the back burner. But you've done a lot of good moves in your life now. The move you do now is you do coaching, health coaching, to show people in this financial red zone, in the red zone 50 and above, and probably younger people too, but I know you concentrate mainly on people that are in transition and have some health needs. What do you spend most of your time coaching people on?
I spend most of my time coaching people on just wellness, and a lot of it is mindset.
Yep.
And like I said, I used to be a pharmacist. I know all about the medications, and that has its place. But to have long-term, permanent change is kind of, you have to adopt a new mentality, way you approach like eating, way that you approach like just physical activity. Like I said, I don't use the word exercise, has such a bad connotation. I use physical activity. Because you don't have to. You don't have to do, like the studies show that if you take a 10-minute walk after your biggest meal, that helps level out your blood sugar so you don't get those spikes. The thing that you want to avoid is having those tremendous spikes.
Yes.
You want to kind of keep your blood sugar kind of
even flow. Do you take a walk after you eat every day?
I do not, but I will tell you, whenever I do make it outside, there's not even just the physical, but the mental benefits.
Feels good when you're outside.
It feels nice.
The air, like especially after a rainstorm, it smells different.
Yes, it does.
You know, I take a walk from the kitchen to the living room.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
I sit in my chair. I know I should be walking. We see a lot of people, we live in a cul-de-sac, so we see people come down the street, walk around with their dogs do the business in their yard. Someone should make sure they have a little green bag to pick up the business, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the business in my yard, Thomas.
Understood.
We've seen some battles going on online. People not liking the business being dropped in their yard, and then they take the business back to somebody else's yard. They follow them home and give them the business back. Business. So what would you say are the top 3 causes of people not being as physically fit and as they approach retirement as it could be?
Probably the biggest thing is that time that you have to kind of put the time into like your schedule. I think that's the best. What I've found with people I work with is the best results is to schedule it as part of your schedule. Like you know, as you schedule everything else, like you know, you have your meetings and all that stuff that you schedule, like a time being consistent with that.
Yes. I used to do that when I used to go to the gym. I used to schedule it. Then all of a sudden, schedule.
All right. Listen,
but it's good if you don't put it on the schedule. It's not going to happen, is it? Consistently, it may happen one day. But here's what I found: if you say I'm going to go to the gym after work, the worst thing you could do is go home. Say, I got to get my clothes there at home. You go home, you're not leaving home again. So you either go to the gym on the way to work or on the way home from work. Don't go home and then try to go to the gym because Thomas, that hardly ever happens. You know, life starts happening when you do that.
Exactly.
Same thing with the financial planning. Don't say you're going to do something and not do it. The best time to get the real plan is now, and that's why we're offering this book, The Retirement Autopilot. This is a way for you to make sure to turn all the lump sums you have, or at least know what the lump sums you have, like you may have a balance over here in 401k, maybe a balance in IRA, stock count. What could those balances really mean to you as far as a lifetime income check you could never outlive? And I read about that here in this book, Retirement Autopilot. It's 143 pages, all about designing the proper autopilot system for you and your family. Everyone's different, Keith. Everyone's health is different. Everyone's wealth is different. What you want to do in retirement is different than what I want to do in retirement. Let's make sure to put a price to what you want to do. Let's factor inflation in looking forward, and let's make sure to put enough money away today to make sure you never have a problem tomorrow and all the way through in the future. And you can do that by following the techniques I set forth in this book, The Retirement Autopilot. If you call right now, you see the number you see on the screen, or text right now, we will send this out to you at our expense. You don't have to go to Amazon and buy it. We'll buy it for you, and you don't have to pay postage. We'll pay the postage to get it to you. So there's no games or gimmicks. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I've been sending books out. I've written 27 books, folks. I'm not afraid to give these away. They're good. They're not doing me any good on my bookshelf. They'll be doing you a lot better if you act on some of the procedures and principles that I outline in this book. So if you would like a copy of this book, all you have to do is text the number you see on the screen. We also, if you're a federal employee, I've got Thrift and Thrive showing you how to properly align your TSP for not only now, but all the way in the future. And if you're a state of North Carolina employee, both my parents were and my wife is, so I have a special place in my heart for you guys. This is the unofficial North Carolina, state of North Carolina Employee Manifesto. So I don't work for the state, but I show you what you should be doing. So call the number you see on the screen. We'll send these free books out to you. We'll be right back after this.
Take advantage of meeting with a professional who will create a one-page financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. Take the mystery out of financial planning by mapping out where you are now. Discover how much you're actually paying in fees and commissions. See if by simply protecting your investment, you could experience dramatic growth potential. We'll also perform a tax analysis to reveal how you could possibly reduce your taxes. We'll even run a customized income plan, utilizing proven strategies and techniques which can turbocharge your retirement income and take the worry out of living in retirement. That's a comprehensive financial review, complimentary with no obligation.
Call 919-657-4201, 919-657-4201, or text PLAN to 600-700. PLAN to 600-700.
Welcome back into the Financial Safari, having a great conversation today. You can catch up on past episodes by heading over to financialsafari.com. Again, that is financialsafari.com. You can also ask questions there to be featured here on the show or just to be answered by Coach Pete and the team. The journey begins right there at financialsafari.com. But to get us started, I am here with you again, consumer advocate Thomas Lipscomb, alongside America's Wealth, Financial, and Income Coach, Coach Pete DeRuda, and our special guest today, Mr. Keith Hersey.
We talk about health and wealth. And without health, the wealth doesn't matter. Or without health, the wealth disappears. If you have to spend all your money on health-related issues, then you can't enjoy your retirement. So it all goes hand in hand, making sure that you get that health taken care of when you're getting your wealth taken care of as you have that glide path into retirement. Age 52 and above, we are coming into retirement for that landing. We want it to be a smooth landing. We don't want to bounce around. We want to make sure that we can take back off if we want to take back off too. And so, Keith, what are some of the, three of the big things people are doing to hurt themselves health-wise as they approach retirement?
Probably the biggest thing that they're doing is that just the food choices that people are making. And then we talked about it a little bit before we went on air. And Thomas, you talked about being in Europe and that you lost weight.
I did, and I felt like I was eating the same foods generally that I do here.
Well, let's tell people. So Thomas went away for a year about, 6 years ago now, right?
Yep.
His wife is from Holland.
Yes.
I say she's Hollandaise, but she's Dutch. Hollandaise.
No, I love it.
But you were there for almost a year.
I was.
And then you decided to come back to America. But in the time you were there, how much weight did you lose?
So it was pretty significant. When I went over there, I was probably 185, 190. And when I was over there, I got down into the mid-150s, low 150s.
You almost had to run around the shower to get wet.
Yeah. Really.
But and then you came
that was
back.
High school.
I remember you coming back here. You did you looked kind of skinny. Your face was a little sunken in. But then you came back here, and how long did it take you to gain all the weight you lost back plus some?
Not enough time. Let's call it a half a year. So.
Did you think you ate more when you got back here, or were you eating about the same as you were over there, or maybe did you eat more when you were in Europe?
I had more daily exercise in Europe, specifically in Holland. They bike a lot to different places, so I was riding my kids, who were 2 and 3 at the time, to their local daycare every day on their bike and back. So
your cardiovascular was good in good shape then, huh?
Definitely, yeah. But outside of that, I feel like my diet's relatively horrible, honestly, if I was to say. Whether I'm in Europe or not, I still like my hamburgers. I still like my fries.
Who doesn't though?
Yeah, exactly.
Who doesn't like that? But again, moderation, Keith, right? You don't have to like if you make yourself go without and you say I can't have this, I can't have that. When your parents told you couldn't have something, what did you want?
All the more.
Yeah. So you got to reward yourself every now and then. Have it every now and then. And if you can have it, then you don't want it. If it's readily available and people are saying go ahead and take what you want, you don't want it anymore. And so a lot of the athletes I do financial planning with, if you tell them they can't spend any of that big check they just got, they get mad at me and they fire me. But if I say, hey, let's put half of it away in a time capsule account where it'll be waiting for you for retirement. It's going to grow in between now and retirement, which for these athletes, that's 40 years. And I said, but here, in the meantime, go ahead and blow half the money. Guess what they don't do? They don't blow half the money. They don't want. Maybe they'll blow a couple. They'll buy a couple things. But then they say, Coach, I don't want. It's not quite as much fun to spend when I'm allowed to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So when you tell someone they can't eat something, they're going to want to eat it. You tell someone they can't spend something, they're going to want to spend it. So there's a lot of reverse psychology here. I did take 5 psychology classes at Carolina when I was here. You saw me working in the school cafeteria. I worked in the cafeteria, so I saw all the food. I got tired of food. I worked, So that's a big thing, the mental approach to retirement, right? Yeah. What else you see?
I think another thing is, and it's kind of the undervalued thing, is the importance of sleep. There's more and more studies that are coming about relaying just the overall wellness, the lack of, we're not getting enough sleep, because sleep is restorative. It helps like your brain kind of filter everything out. So you kind of need that to kind of get kind of like
the reset button every day.
Kind of get the reset button, kind of get all the crud out from the day. So you need to have enough sleep to be able to do that. And when you don't get enough
So is this
sleep,
what you go over when you're coaching folks? Now, like me, I don't even set an alarm. I wake up right around 8 o'clock every day. but I don't go to bed till like 5 o'clock. But I wake up. That's enough sleep for if I sleep a little longer, like on weekends. Maybe I get up at 10 o'clock. I'm grouchy.
Yeah, I get
because I've
that,
started a different cycle. The other day, Keith, I was dreaming. I kept finding money. I was walking in through this neighborhood and there was money all over the place. So I was picking it up. I found a wallet. I was putting it all in my pocket because I didn't want anybody in the neighborhood to see me. I was walking through this neighborhood and I woke up before I could count it. And I tried to go back to sleep. Couldn't get back to sleep. The dogs. We got 2 dogs. They start barking at. They hear the UPS man down 2 streets over. They start barking. They woke me up from my good dream. Still mad at my dogs. They didn't get any bones that day. But is there science that proves that not everyone needs the same amount of sleep? Because my batteries do recharge and I'm fine. And Thomas, you've seen this. When you try to sleep a little longer, you start another cycle, but you get interrupted in it, and you're in a worse case scenario than if you would have got up right when you're like 3 hours of sleep.
No doubt.
How much sleep do you do?
I typically get 7 hours, something like that, and it fills me up well.
Well, I see you never answer my text lately.
Exactly.
What about you, Keith?
I usually get about 6 hours is kind of like my thing.
When
if
you go
I
to
get
bed, do you have a set time you go to bed at?
Usually I try to get in bed by 12 at the latest. But I usually get like if I get between 6 or 7, I'm good. Usually if I get more than 7, then I'm kind of feeling off.
You got your little cycle there, right?
Yeah, you feel like groggy almost.
Have you ever worn one of those little things that tells you your sleep rhythms and all that? Have you ever
well, my Apple Watch tells me some of that.
What about blood pressure? Does it measure that too?
It does. It does. And like I said, it's probably a little off because it's not really the wrist pulse. It's not really a good.
So
thing.
sleep is another one. So the first thing we talked about was diet, sleep. What's the third of the trifecta?
Probably just the trifecta is like physical, and which I work with my clients is just physical activity.
Physical activity.
And like I said, you don't have to. You don't have to be in the gym.
Nobody
for
wants
2
to talk to me about physical
hours.
activity.
Yeah. You don't have to be in the gym
Just
for 2
going
hours.
to the gym, even if it's only 20 minutes every other day, it's better than not going to the gym.
That's right.
And then you get in a routine, then you get excited. Once you get that excitement level, you take off. Now, how can somebody reach you if they want some physical coaching and to make sure they're on the right track and maybe get rid of that type 2 diabetes or at least get on the track to help them on that way?
Okay, so I'm available at LinkedIn. You can look me up. And also you can look me up Facebook at Destroying Diabetes. And
Destroying
I'm also
Diabetes.
Destroying Diabetes. That's kind of my company. So in Facebook and Instagram, I'm available at that. If you want to email me, you can email me at herseyhealthhelp@gmail.com. Like I said, the email goes directly to me. I'm not like you, Pete. I got somebody to answer stuff for me. I answer it
So
myself.
let's put the address. We'll put all that address on the screen right here. So folks, if you want to contact Keith and get some coaching and maybe get that overall well-being that you want. Now, that's the health side. For the wealth side, I've got this book, hot off the presses, called Retirement Autopilot. And since you've watched this episode, a lot of good health information, but I also want to give you this wealth information. And we're going to send you this book if you're one of the next 25 callers here as we reach the end of the show. And all you have to do is text the number you see on the screen, and we'll make sure to get these books. The next 25 of you who text that you want a copy of this book, we'll send it out at our expense. I'll buy the book for you and send it out for you. So for Keith Hersey, Tom Lipscomb, Coach Pete DeRuda here. See you next week. Same time, same station, right here on the Financial Safari.